Welcome back, everybody, to Everyone Needs an Aquarius. We are back. We had a little break. We were supposed to get together this week, but just everybody's schedules is all messed up. And Dom, you was in a wedding too, right?
No, I was a spectator. But I had a performance. I did have a performance in St. Louis. And so that I knew it. I was right. I told you. I was like, I feel like the best day for Yep, I was like, the best day for us to record will be the day that I get there. And then I think I tussled. I don't know what happened the day I got there. Well, I texted you and let you know that I got there. And then I was at my dad's house eating, the White Castle. So I was catching up with my dad. We talked about a lot of different pop culture things. It's always
what's
nice
going on in the world,
Yeah. Talked about
and election just happened too. That was the thing. So
listen, I think after election, everybody honestly just needed a breather and just needed a moment. So
I agree.
Yeah. So that's I'll be back on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, no, we good. We'll get
I'm trying to figure out what day I'm gonna leave.
So you got a one-way ticket right now?
I bought my Christmas Eve ticket. I know I get there that day.
So you just got a one-way ticket right now.
Yeah.
That's ain't nothing wrong with that because it's the holiday. You just be like, all right, well, shit, I'm gonna come back this day. So
yeah.
All right. So, I mean, we will talk about the election in a second, but this is Ray J. I mean, do I have to cue it up, or is this a
I mean, technically, you would be surviving Diddy by way of his kids. So if you want to cue it up, you can.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We haven't queued up in like 3 weeks. We've been cutting them slack. Well,
we've been waiting for more evidence for certain things. Yeah,
right. But I'm just saying, Diddy. Hey man, we've been cutting you slack for weeks.
But we only want to give him, like it gets certain situations become redundant, and so we just want to make sure we're not bombarding y'all with the same stuff.
Yeah, but here we go. All right, we back surviving Diddy, but I don't understand this one. So Ray J is getting into it with the sons.
Yes. So
but now Ray J is spazzing out, they say, supposedly saying more.
Okay, well, guys, we know that Halloween is was a week or 2 weeks ago, but this is a story again. We cannot miss reporting on this, as Ray J was confronted by all of P. Diddy's kids, well, the sons, outside of a Halloween party. That date is November 1st. And they wanted to confront him and talk to him about some of the things that he recently had been saying in the news regarding their father. And I mean, I get it, rightfully so. You want to come to the defense of your father. But, Ray J also said that Puff Daddy needed an exorcism, and that just didn't sit well with his children. And you want to know what's crazy is that they were in each other's faces. It was yelling going.
At least click on that real quick.
Yes.
Do you know this part?
I saw that today.
Okay, keep going. My bad.
Ultimately, chests were bumped. Gauntlets were thrown, and Chris Brown came to the rescue and prevented this fight from happening.
Breezy.
And along with Ray J's manager and a few other people, but Chris Brown is the person that stepped in and intervened to prevent them from fighting. So I thought you would get a kick out of that.
Hey, what world are we living in where
go ahead and say it.
If I would have known that we would be here last year, we first did Surviving Diddy. And that was just also shit that you just want to talk about Keefy D. We weren't even talking about the other stuff. And it literally rolled. It was almost perfect. It literally rolled right into the allegation.
It's funny because
Shout out to
I
everybody that's been
know
coming through listening for because we were like first ahead of it.
I think what's interesting.
Accident.
I mean, I'm gonna say that low key, it's your fault because it started with the Keefe D stuff.
Yeah, but my conspiracy is about Diddy for a while. I get it.
Yes, and so you kind of made this thing become a thing, and so now you have Chris Brown jumping in, preventing fights from happening. And what's crazy is that, like, I was like, wow, is this Chris Brown's redemption story? You know how I feel about him. And so I think ultimately he also had gotten them on the phone, if I'm not mistaken, and where they kind of had a conversation and hashed things out. And initially, Ray J was saying how, coming more so in support of the victims, saying that what Puffy did was not right. Like this is not right. This can't be. You can't be out here treating people like that. And then now in a follow-up interview from TMZ, he's saying things like, "Oh, well, people be innocent until proven guilty." So it's like your tune changed after that incident happened. So I don't know. We'll see. Ray J has been in the public a lot lately, and so you just sent me the link to saying that he was shot at or whatever. I mean, we know how the Combs people roll. I don't want to say too much because I also don't want to be shot out, so I'm gonna keep it cute. So with that said,
I'm the first surviving Diddy. It was called Keefe D and Diddy: The Domino Effect of Tupac's Death.
and what day was that? What was the date? The time
October of 2023.
Little did we know, a month later. We literally had
that. No. Then we did a follow-up 2 weeks later because Keefe D got arrested. No, we did it the next day because Keefe D got arrested. New developments in the Tupac case. That was 2 days later.
Man,
yo, this is hilarious, man. And then
that was the question too, because we were talking about, would they be able to question Sean Combs regarding, his alleged the beef between them, and if that could have led to him being killed. And I was like, they wouldn't be able to hold him on that. So yeah. You want to know what's funny is that my mom and I had a conversation about this while I was at her house in St. Louis. And we were talking about the ins and outs of this case. And she's aware of, like our business idea. And was giving us, I spoke to you about it offline.
Mm-hmm.
We can't tell y'all that here because we don't want y'all stealing our idea.
And in theory, we already talked about it. If you
we did, but that ain't none of their business.
Right. And let's see, if you only way you can steal it if you are hardcore listening to the show. And you know what?
And so we were talking about the ins and outs of potentially where they could charge Diddy, like
retroactively,
where the burden of proof lies. And so actually she agreed with me when I said, I think they're going to have a hard time regarding the consent and those NDAs regarding the sex workers being hired to do what they do, which is sex work. And I think it is because if they need to make sex work legal here in the United States, but we'll get into that later when we talk about the election and those types of politics. But because people had consented, and recently they also released what was in those NDAs as well, what people were, consenting to. She said that, yes, she's like, I think they will have a hard time with that. But she, when it comes to the situation with the minors, she said they'll get them on that simply because even if somebody gave a fake ID, if we can verify at this date, and place that you were not of age, you will get in trouble. It does not matter. She said that's how you have people having issues with statutory rape charges because some girl, or some man lied about their age, and it doesn't matter because at that date you were this age. And then of course the other stuff about the gun charges and all that stuff with the serial codes being scratched off and not being, wanting bullets and stuff to be traced back or whatever. So that as well. But she did agree that she felt like a lot of the sex trafficking stuff could potentially get thrown out.
Yeah, and I think the forcible stuff is where they're gonna get them at, right? Not the, like you said.
If I did not say, I didn't know that I would, that I was being drugged, that will be a problem. But it also will be a matter of, can you prove it?
Yeah. So now you saying that he's getting off?
I don't. Well, that's not what we said. What we said is that they probably won't be able to hold him with the sex trafficking part, because people did consent to doing whatever. And let it be known, I want everybody to understand something. When you get flued out, that's sex trafficking.
In general, or just
in general, because the state lines, it's one thing, like, this is where I live, that is why that's a thing. It wasn't like you have like a group. So you're thinking about it in this literal standpoint, the standpoint of like the coercion that happens.
Right.
But when you get flued out, that falls under the content.
So if you're dating a young lady or young man and you like, hey, I want you to come see me in Seattle, and you pay for the ticket, that's considered sex trafficking?
Yes.
Wow.
Now you cross state lines.
For what? I mean, but we're in a companionship though. Like,
I mean, him and Cassie were in a companionship.
Yeah.
And yes, in a lot of those cases, what she's saying is that she did not consent to that. So that does look different. But being flued out, technically, you pay for sex.
Dang.
Even if it's you bought the flight, technically that can fall under that grounds.
See, fellas, y'all shouldn't be trying to find out.
But that's also, we talked about this. Everybody is quiet about this, and this case is unprecedented simply because it affects so many different people, whether you directly involved or indirectly involved or doing other stuff. That's going to change the game for people, because people don't want to get caught up. Because next thing you know, somebody said, well, he flew
me out too.
He flew me out. Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed to. They said this would be a speedy trial. We'll see. All right. Next up.
And it says trafficking persons in person trafficking in persons and human trafficking are umbrella terms often used interchangeably to refer to a crime whereby traffickers exploit and profit at the expense of adults or children by compelling them to perform a labor or engage in commercial sex. So think about it says when a person younger than 18 is used to perform a commercial sex act, it is a crime regardless of whether it is by whether there is any force, fraud, or coercion. So that even means that regardless of their age, if they're younger than 18, regardless if it is or isn't force, it's a crime. So that's what my mom was saying. So forced labor and sex trafficking are the two primary forms of trafficking in persons. The basic meaning of these forms of human trafficking and some unique characteristics of each are set below, followed by several key principles and concepts that relate to all forms of human trafficking. So it's forced labor, domestic servitude, forced child labor, and sex trafficking. And then it goes even deeper. Even consent comes up. Consent. Wow. Human trafficking can take place even if the victim initially consented to providing labor. services, or commercial sex acts.
This is heavy.
So that's what we talked about earlier when we were speaking about the Trey Songz cases and how people can rescind consent. And then, because I told you, I said, hey, it's no doubt in my mind, I'm not victim shaming or, anything like that. It's no doubt in my mind that these women initially probably wanted to hook up with him. And then once they saw what he was on, they rescinded consent, which is now rape, because now you're forcing somebody to do and perform acts that they don't want to do when they told you no.
And that they done.
Yeah.
I mean, that they're not feeling whatever you bring. I'm surprised Ray J is even. I don't even know what's Ray J.
And it's one thing, like I said, like if it's like you said, if we're in a domestic relationship or whatever, we're in a partnership and we go together and you going along, like we live in different states, that's different.
But like you going on somebody's IG, like, yo, I want to fly you out to get up with you. That
technically can fall under that.
Because you don't even have no established relationship beforehand, before all this is going on. And now she pays on to come see you. Then it's like, okay, what's a mutual thing? You're coming to go see this individual or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. So to even go even further, it says that the analysis is primarily focused on the trafficker's conduct and not that of the victim. A trafficker can target a victim after the victim applies for a job or migrates to earn a living. The trafficker's exploitive scheme is what matters, not a victim's prior consent or ability to meaningful consent thereafter. Likewise, in a sex trafficking case, an adult victim's initial willingness to engage in commercial sex acts is not relevant where a perpetrator subsequently uses force, fraud, or coercion to exploit the victim.
Oh, wow. Huh. This is those legal beagles out there, man. That's why y'all need it. Just to be able to get in this minutiae. All that stuff is in the details that you can't even.
Yeah. And so people are only focused on certain aspects of this case. Like, we see the jokes running around regarding the baby oil and all these different things and Diddy being freaky. It's more than that. So, I mean, and if everybody took a moment to read, they would know that. I was like, I don't understand what we are confused about here.
Yeah.
So that's just like if somebody, that conversation surrounding getting, flued out on a vacation, and the expectation is for the woman on the receiving end to have sex.
I mean, I know if a woman fly me out, I know I'm I gotta put it on.
So I mean, but here's the thing. I'm gonna say this.
That's just me though. And but those things can be discussed beforehand.
You're like me in the sense of, if that is the case, if I'm being flown out, I'm going to
podcast. We definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
for sure, health, femininity, parenthood, dating,
definitely dating,
single parents. And it's from a lens of two psychologists,
Yeah.
So,
but also two people who grew up with both parents, married parents, and then you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, her siblings and my siblings. So so it's from that perspective.
Yeah, looking at life through that lens. Yeah. So you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us. From us being women, going through life as parents, and all of these awesome attributes. But yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.
Where I will be with somebody that I'm attracted to, that I want to do this with. So the only reason I'm rescinding consent is if the dude is corny. But for the most part, I'm too much of a hypochondriac to go somewhere where I don't know somebody, because I'm like, what, you trying to chop me up?
You didn't talk this person. hey, I got a game in Houston. Why don't you fly out there? And you just jump in the DMs like, what?
And also, I'm not flying out nowhere. You're gonna pay for my ticket. I'm not running my credit card.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they'll be saying that's what right. I know, but no, I'm saying, but the quickness of just saying that and not getting to know the person.
Yeah,
before you come out flying them out.
It's too risky, and even we talk about from the standpoint of a lot of people don't have nothing to lose, but a lot of people in other positions really do. And so when you operate and vibrate at a higher level, you will understand that and people will move differently. And that's all.
Yeah, it's this consent, man. Just what this ask for consent before, like, hey, or as a dude, but that's why you get to know somebody. You would get the vibes in general if this is gonna pop off or not beforehand, because you will be getting to know the person. Like you just sitting them a flight to Houston because you're gonna be there. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Doesn't mean anything. All right. Election this came and gone. Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. He's also the 45th. He's only the second president to have done that. Grover Cleveland is the other individual that has done that. Everybody's trying to blame everybody else. What went wrong? What went right? I was just fatigued. I ain't gonna even front. I kind of was just happy it was all over with. It's like it is what it's gonna be. But overall, I will say this: there's blame to be put in all kind of different pots. I feel in general, if you're talking about the Democratic side, but a lot of it has to do. I have two people I want to blame individually, but one of them is a stretch, and one of them is immediate. My stretch is Hillary Clinton. My immediate is Joe Biden / Kamala at the same time. So, and not necessarily the individuals, but the way they targeted. But then another part of me goes, well, only some amount of people, you were fighting over a certain amount of people that weren't going to even try to vote for her anyway. So I go back and forth with that. A part of me feels like, going back to my original thing with Hillary Clinton, a part of me feels like they should have let Joe run right after Barack. And I know that was a thing with Hillary made a deal with Barack while they were in the primary, that if she dropped out earlier so you could get geared up for the full presidential election, that he would support her in running in 8 years. That's the deal.
Well, Biden wasn't going to run because, remember his son that passed away. So they were, that was supposed to be.
Yeah, I think that was kind of convenient. I kind of think that was kind of convenient because they already kind of had Hillary in the pipe.
Yeah, not convenient.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying convenient, but I'm saying like, if he really wanted to do it, he would have still done it. Like, if people have had their whole family wiped out and still ran for governor,
Yeah.
So I'm saying if he really wants, and it's not necessarily, and I get why the deal happened. I get it for all the political people. Like, well, I get it. I'm just saying that Joe Biden was hot at that time because of Barack. You could have ran off another 8 years with him, right afterwards. Then you could, and of course, Hillary would have been too old, maybe potentially, or she felt like she had lost her time. But you would have had 16 solid years of Democrats solidified doing stuff. You could have really made some moves, is what I kind of think about. And then it could have set the stage for what we see now.
Yeah.
So also Joe Biden, I think he could have stepped down earlier before to give Kamala more room to be able to run get a whole runway. She had a lot of money.
That's how I feel.
She got a lot of money, but she had to bullshit a lot of money away because we only got a certain amount of time. So we just got to start paying for some bullshit. Like we just got just doing bullshit. Like, if you trying to expect, it's like a dude that's trying to get to a girl faster, so they start spending money. It's not going to be as intrinsic potentially because he's just trying to get faster to get to his destination, whatever that may be.
I'll say this: I feel like,
but I also think Kamala, because of that, people didn't get a chance to relate to her, and
that's what I was going to say. And the key people that needed to relate to her, unfortunately, would be I'm gonna be honest. I was shocked that it was only 20% of Black men that did not vote for her. I thought that number was going to be higher. So I was content and cool with it being like 80%, 80-something% of Black men.
But we talked about that in the last show that most Black men were going to vote for her. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, but then there was a huge percentage of people that were registered to vote across all colors that just didn't vote. But I think that the thing was she really needed to penetrate the Latino market, because I don't know why. And that number, they had unprecedented numbers. They hadn't seen numbers like that since like 76. So it was like
counties that had voted Democrat that flipped.
Yeah. And so I think there's a lot to, unpack here when we talk about, because like at least with Hillary, like the number of white women that voted for her, it was like almost like a little over 50%. And then it jumped up. So this is the conversation that I consistently have when people ask, are you like a feminist or anything? And I'm like, I wouldn't say I was a feminist for all. I believe in what's right, and a woman should be able to do whatever it is that she wants to do with her body. And I do believe that if I'm working twice as hard as a man, I should be getting paid, because that makes sense. But I'm not about to lock arms and sing Kumbaya because y'all go into the booths and y'all vote otherwise, and then want to get on the soapbox and complain and bitch and moan about shit. And I'm like, well, we're here because of ... And it's funny because people still don't understand the concept of the electoral college, right? Because one year, which was this last instance with Hillary and Trump, you remember how the electoral college was one way, but the popular vote was another way. So people are like, how can that be? Because I voted. You vote, but then there's somebody else that goes, there's a certain amount of seats. So people need to really, then those people go in and then they vote. And then that's how they get, if your state has maybe like 57 people that, for California, it's not 50 something.
Yeah.
But
it might be 50 something actually.
Oh, I was just throwing a number out there.
It might be like 50 to 60, I believe.
So those people go in. So that's how you get those. It's a certain amount of votes that a state has. And so ultimately, people need to learn how the system works. And then y'all just going in and doing stuff as if the House isn't up for grabs. Like you voting for your senators, your judges. And so now you have voted
54.
somebody.
California's got 54.
We got 54? Oh, I was close. Oh, I'm 2 numbers off. I'm proud of me.
Yep.
But ultimately, so it changes the course of things for everybody. And so ultimately, it's a trickle-down effect. And so what's weird about this is them swing states that normally be turning blue, were red. You almost feel like there was some sort of voter interference, but I'm so burnt out.
No. It's weird. It's like honestly, and I know some people may not like this. I don't think over time, I can realize how she wasn't a likable candidate.
I can see that. I can see how you could say that.
Now, what's the funny thing is, if low key, if Biden would have left out later, it's like a weird thing. He'd left out later and let her, because she had that energy and she was moving off. If it had been like 40 days, she might have been able to have more room. It's weird because it was like she needed longer to go through the process, but also longer made more availability for her to be damaged as well.
Yeah, I think when we talked about this on the show, we said where she needed to be right away, and it was in a swing state. It was certain places where she
did though. I give her that. She did go
to a certain extent, yes, but I still felt like what's happening honestly in the Democratic Party as a whole is them always banking on certain people to vote a certain way, and it's in the bag. We saw that just happen in St. Louis with Cori Bush and that Wesley guy, and how things can switch up on you like so quick. But also, I think that they, I'm all about separation of church and state. But what the one thing that the Republicans, though, we know that they lie a lot, and we might not necessarily believe in their ethics or the way of politicking, is that they manipulate and bamboozle people solely based on their religious views. Like they are in that bag. And so, and whereas the Democrats are not. And so you get a Latino population that is very heavy into the church, Catholicism and things like that. So they don't believe in abortion. We know.
We know.
But ultimately they play a game, and they still always end up being screwed. But they're too delusional to really see the impact. I went through and I went to Donald Trump's page to see how many people on my friends list were following him. And it was a lot of people. And so I was like, and I just went through and unfollow, because some people I was like, we was co-workers at Saks, however many years.
It wasn't even that big. It wasn't even that. We weren't even.
Yeah, I'm like, you sold me some bras and panties. I'm not, but I an ex-boyfriend of mine populated from high school. And I was like, hey, I see that you follow Donald Trump. And he's like, yeah, I'm a Black Republican. Now you tour and you make a decent amount of money, but it's still not like I'm counting your pockets. It's not where you would be affected or, by those tax breaks of the millionaires. So because you make six figures, like you're not going to feel that. And so I challenged him. And when he said that, I said, don't you have a daughter? And so he left me on red. I said, it's cool. I'm gonna circle back in about a year and a half and see how you feeling. And then you didn't even want to have a conversation. You said, honestly, I'm so politicked and electioned out. Okay, that's cool. You can be that today. I said I was gonna circle back in a year and a half, motherfucker. I'm circling back. And I'm gonna say, well, hello, motherfucker. This is what I was talking about, because people don't realize even like we're still feeling the effects of that presidency now. And y'all want to talk about the first thing that God did the next day after he was declared the president.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm about this mass deportation. So what about y'all grandmama? Because everybody ain't legal.
No.
So what does that look like? What are you going to do? Because I directly know, I can tell you 20 people right now that if that were a thing and they really came through like that, who that would impact. 20 people. So I'm going to say this, and it's the optimistic me looks at it from this standpoint. I look at stuff like things are a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Kamala, there's something bigger and greater for her. And I'm tired.
And honestly, and this don't sound messed up, and I hope you go on here. I hope you are. I think if she would have won this, I think she would have got primaried for the next term anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because they felt like, and I feel there's some people that felt like, do we even get to primary you? You just got this spot. I'm Shapiro. I'm one of these other cats, a Newsom. Oh, I'm gonna primary your ass. I don't care.
That's what I was gonna say. I think if if she would have pulled,
if she would have primary, I think this would have. I'm not saying necessarily she'd have won, but she wouldn't have got her ass kicked like this.
I think so, but also there people can talk about the misogyny of it all.
100%.
But also, this country still has a huge race problem, and these numbers show that. Yeah. So I think there's a call that the country needs to answer regarding race.
But if you're gonna be the first one, you got to not have a stain on you, and we know that. Looking about anyone that was the first to do something, Jackie Robinson, Barack Obama.
But she really doesn't. We've been able to.
No, I know, but I'm just telling. But I'm saying Benjamin O. Davis. First black man to graduate West Point. Yes. But they didn't have no stain on them. Like they walked the fine line. You can't be having nothing. You gotta, at least till you get into the seat. And it's unfair. It's super unfair to her. Super unfair when you got the other side of it. And this dude got all kind of stain. It's so stained up, you don't know what he looked like no more. But I'm saying, I think that was a tragedy. Joe Biden not stepping out earth where she could be primary. And not saying that
he need to step down now. He need to step down now and let her have it. And
you needed to let her get primary. It was like a thing of like.
But I said that. Everybody was like, not.
She needed to get jumped in. She needed to get jumped into the gang.
Nobody was like rocking with me when I said, "Hey, I think you're doing a huge disservice."
Not primarying her.
Yeah,
even
I was
like a nationwide fast thing, we gonna have to gear up something 20 days or even. I don't know how you would be able to do it. That was the only problem, is that it was stuck behind that. But you should have figured out some way to primary it. I don't know how to, and it probably could have got a certain amount of workers to come out to work for a quick primary in all these states. Like, you don't have to spend no money for no campaign stuff. I mean, and I don't know. Somebody that's a poll worker, hit us up, let us know.
That would be a Stacey question.
Yeah, like was that even possible to do? Like, we need a primary.
I think how they pulled together definitely for sure is a case study, because she ran up a hell of a campaign. Yes. I think part of it is that I think we still have the part that is misogynistic, and then just the racism part. Like it is, and people are going to be like, oh well, Barack was black. Yeah, he wasn't a black woman. So it still hit different. And so y'all can play that, but it's something about, I'm telling you, black. I was in a training today, and I looked up, and it was a girl like that I never met before, just staring at me. And I'm like, hello, like, do you want to get to know me or whatever? And I catch that like in where I'm in very white spaces quite often. And it's like, who are you? Do you like as if I ain't a chick that ever, I don't have imposter syndrome. I'm always like, what's that? Because I belong in this space just as much as you do. Probably, if not more. I'm probably more educated than you. So it's to me, that's how I feel. But ultimately, that's just the name of the game that we have to play when it comes to not to being black women. It is, and I know that there's that conversation about, oh, black men have it harder than black. We both have it equally as hard.
Different. It's different. But she didn't have nothing she could lean on. Barack had believe in change. He was way more. I think that like he
was more charismatic. He had that charisma that got everybody locked in.
Yeah. Now the better case study would be if Michelle Obama would have run. Then you could really. I think that's way more of a situation where you could really say, okay, if she didn't win, then this. I'm saying that's a better case study to match the match overall.
Yeah.
We know the innuendos being black, but I'm talking about where you can really have definitive proof of saying like two charismatic black people, one's a black man, one's a black woman. Nobody mess with her, but they mess with him. Why?
Yeah. I think it's a blessing in disguise. I think it's just like one of those things. I said this. I said, black women, we're not the cleanup woman. That is not our job to always rectify and fix, everybody's shit. And I'm tired of that narrative. I'm like, we are so much more than that.
And I wanted these Republican folks. It's talking about they want all this stuff. I didn't want them to have nothing to complain about for 4 years. of them being like, oh, is something wrong with the trans kids going in the bathrooms, or DEI. Get everything you want. I don't want to hear no complaints for 4 years.
I don't want to hear no complaints from nobody that voted for him.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear nothing.
And you got everything you wanted, but you got it. You got it. But we as people, we're gonna have to fight still. We're gonna do what we always do.
But that's been the name of the game for Black people. And I like.
But also with the DEI thing, I think we need to be teaching our kids Black history more amongst ourselves. That's a whole nother different thing.
That's teaching
them about our history. Depending on.
And I think ultimately, we see how that stuff stresses people out, how it ages people, and think about how dangerous of a job that is, just in general to have. And then you're the first Black woman. So it's like everywhere you go, you a walking target where somebody got a hit out on you because they mad just because you got a job. Like, we deal with that on a regular day-to-day basis, and we work at the bank. You know what I mean? So think about it at the executive, like you are the highest branch.
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, girl.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
Anything that she wanted, it was going to be a tussle for her, that she wanted initiatives and all of that. It was always going to be, like, oh, when it went to the floor, they was always going to be told, nah, we ain't fucking with it.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
So for me, I feel like God is doing something. And my aunt was like, oh, no, it's just the prophecy being fulfilled because, Trump is the Antichrist. I was like, that ain't what this is.
Yeah,
like y'all gotta stop saying that. Like
they try to flip it and say Barack was on the other side. I
was like, this that ain't what this is. This is just idiots. And I'm a person that I love the Lord. He heard my cry, and this ain't that. Y'all get it together. So stop. This is just pure factual based idiocracy,
like the movie
that we're seeing. And like I said, it never impacts the upper class, the elites. It directly impacts the working class, and if you poor. And so I just want to remind everybody that a lot of us are one paycheck away from being homeless. Think about that over the next 4 years. Think about that. Think about the programs that people were trying to put into place that won't ever make it to the floor. Because now the Republicans control the House. People are thinking, y'all thinking short-term thinking to talking about a Trump check. No, that was not from Donald Trump, you idiot. But whatever. Fortunately for me, I live in California. So the Trump years, as annoying as fuck as they were, we generate enough revenue here where if we broke away from the US, United States of America, we could sustain. People don't realize how much money comes through California. That's why they were scrambling when the strike happened, because they knew how much money they were going to lose. So it hits me as far as inflation and money coming out my the check and stuff. We're not going to see. I'll be owing anyway on my taxes. I'll be owing. So
don't even talk about that.
We ain't.
Oh man, but yeah, so hey, you got what you want, America spoke. It is what it is. something I am happy about. Let's talk about something happy. This right here is going on right now. Hold on.
Because it's natural. So stack it.
Undeniable.
2.
Undeniable.
3.
Undeniable. Undeniable.
You are a machine.
Oh, thank you.
Try to teach these things. Stacking, boom, you do this. This is what you do. Deniable. So the next one, you do the same thing. So you know what your
Look at her
stop
sitting
is.
over there
All the
looking like
stops are
Kourtney
the same.
Kardashian.
I try to tell people that, but they don't lock in.
They need to lock in with the
Lock
hand
in with
something.
if you did it that one time, your body do it the same time. If you did that done, then you do it on all the tracks.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Trey Taylor, you the GOAT.
All right. That was Amerie for everybody that's on audio listening on the podcast.
And if you just don't know who Amerie is, she is the beast behind One Thing. That's like her biggest hit. You know, we love her from since her inception of Why Don't We Fall in Love, Talking to Me, Nothing Like Loving You, I Just Died, because all I have is an album that is so solid that it has no skips.
None.
It is so great to see her back in the booth. With
some of the same producers, like come on, man.
Yes, I am here for this project. And this is an Amerie Stan account. Like I even have the album Because I Love It, which was not released here in the US of A.
It was in the UK.
Yeah, so
I have every Amerie album.
Yes.
Every one of them. I have every one of them, man.
So
there's some other stuff that are offline, and
Amerie warms my heart.
Is it time for story time? Amerie story.
You have an Amerie story. Okay? Give it to us.
You know, I did a party with her.
No.
Oh, so y'all think I'm bullshitting, huh? Okay.
I believe it was this a free time party, and I missed it. I must not have lived in St. Louis no more.
Yeah, it was 09, 08, 09, 08, May 08. Memorial Day weekend.
Have been out of town. There's no way that I was in St. Louis at that time. I'm irritated. The past me is irritated, but I will say I've seen her in concert. She opened for Destiny's Child on the Destiny's Child Fulfilled tour, and then randomly out here because LA, they have a party on Wednesday night called Sadiq, and Raphael Sadiq popped up and performed, and so did Amerie.
All right, this one is actually a pretty good one, so I might have to clip this one out. This is actually a two-parter with Amerie because all right, so we had a weekend of events and parties. We did the first night with Terrence J at the Loft. The second night we did Amerie all black party. Hold on, I'm gonna send you the video. I mean, I can't play the video because we got copyrighted music in the video. We did then the night. Then what we do at that? It was then the third night we ended up doing like a NFL party at the Skybox. This how long it was ago, y'all.
Wow.
The single people, the Skybox. So this is how
Nelly's joint.
Yeah. So this is how long it was ago for this event. So
I feel like I remember that weekend, and I think I only ended up going to the Skybox.
Yeah. So we had that going on. So hold on, I'm trying to find his aim. I'm gonna find an Amerie picture though, because I need to have it for perspective here for everybody. So all right. So Friday night we kick it. And Terrence J was awesome. You know what I'm saying? We get him back to the hotel, all that stuff. I wake up in the morning. We had an actual driver. We had shout out to Adrian's cousin Brian. He basically at the time he worked for one of the car dealerships, and he let him get an Escalade, and we just paid him to do all the driving force with the celebrities or whatever in town. So we had it's not bootleg. It's just you supposed to have a chauffeur's license, all that kind of shit. So we ain't got none of that. So that night went cool with that. Got him back. Next morning, get up. We go get Amerie. So Amerie had a real tricky kind of rider. It was low key. I love Amerie, but I gotta be honest. Low key, she was trying to get over on us. I feel like looking back a little bit, just because the way her rider was set up. So her rider, we had to pay for one of her security coming from like North Carolina, one of her homegirls coming from DC, and then her and her now husband and manager then coming. So it was like, dude, why am I paying for just when your random friends to come? Would I get it if they're part of your team? But the girl didn't do nothing. She was just literally there. And I know that happens, and I know other people have been way more egregious with it. So maybe I need to shut my mouth with even complaining about it or even mentioning it or whatnot. But so we get there, get her picked up and everything, get there and everything to it. So me and Amerie's husband, this starts a whole night of us just getting into it, a whole day of us getting into it. From the time I pick up in the airport at 10 in the morning. Not necessarily like arguing until the end of the night, but it was like a little bit contentious because he kept asking like, yes, because remember Chingy had a song with her around that time. What was the song? Yes. So he was like, you think you could get Chingy to come out to the party and stuff, but she could do the song with him? And I was like, I don't even. At that time, I didn't know Chingy like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, that would be dope if you could do that. And he was like, it was something else. And he was like, yeah, because we was just on tour with Beyonce. Because I guess she opened for Beyonce right before that. And it was just like he was trying to sun me.
So in the car right the airport, so that might have been like too much longer after the Destiny Fulfilled tour because she was on that tour. She opened for them.
Yeah, and he was talking about that because it's like he was partly trying to sun me. I feel like, and I was like, no, that we ain't gonna do that, player. And maybe my ego is getting involved with it. I 100% could say that potentially could be that as well. But so I get them back to hotel, everything's all good. I get a call. They like, hey, we don't have they were like super vegans or vegetarian vegans or whatever. They needed soy milk, they need all this kind of stuff. But my driver, we only paid him to get them there, pick them up for to come to the venue and to go back to the hotel, all that good stuff. So they like, no, we really, really need it, and blah, blah, blah. I keep hearing about this emails. Hey, my black ass picked them up in the Volvo. So it's me, Amerie sitting in the front, her husband in the back, and her homegirl. Because they wanted to see the venue too. We ride in midnight blackness. We went to Emo's. We went out to Trader Joe's to get our vegan stuff and went by it was at Lumen. I'm talking about people were trying to like it was one girl at the it was the hood, not the hood emos, the one that used to be on Olive and right next to I guess what used to be on Olive, right where what you call is now the weed spot is that Allen Iverson and for people in St. Louis, y'all know what I'm talking about. Allen Iverson. And the main dude is called Viola. I forgot the NBA player played for the Pacers that runs it. Every time I talk about it. But anyway, we went there. So literally, I am riding them in my regular whip, my 98, 99 Volvo. And we riding around and go pick up stuff and do stuff or whatever. So we get back, get them all back to the hotel, help her get the groceries up. Homeboy still saying like, have you talked to Chingy? Still saying this, saying that. And I'm like, no, I mean, I done made some calls. I don't think he do's in town. It's not going to happen. All right. So we get to the venue. I mean, so everything's going fine. We get them getting there or whatever. So we get them there to Lumen and they get in there and we cracking. And they was like, dang, we ain't know many people's going to be here like this. And we was telling them like, it's going to be cracking. So we get do you remember going to Lumen?
Where was Lumen?
Lumen was like a block or two down from Pepper and all that stuff, a little bit more west, block or two down west.
It doesn't ring a bell. It doesn't. EXO just rings a bell. That's it.
Yeah, Lumen is next to Pepper Lounge. Remember Nectar? Nectar Lounge.
I do remember Nectar.
It's a block down from them 2 spots. Because Nectar and Pippa are right next to each other. So I get them upstairs. We have a big Nectar, Lumen, people that try to visualize. It was a big bottom ballroom floor with 2 bars there. And then you have like a spiraling staircase that goes up to a 2nd floor. That's like a VIP area. So we have food and you had to pay a little bit extra to get up there into that VIP area. It might not be open no more.
I know it's not.
And so we get up there, we get up there, we chilling or whatever. And
it says it opens at 9 a.m. Wednesday.
Lumen's open. Lumen in St. Louis is open still.
Oh, you know what? I have been to an event here.
Yeah, it's a nice event.
I've been to one of your parties. There's something happened that weekend where I did not go because I went to the Skybox.
All right, hold on, y'all. Yeah,
because it's like a private venue.
Yes.
Wait, maybe I did go.
Hold on, I'm finna try to.
Maybe I did go because now seeing Amerie speak over something makes sense.
Hold on, let me see here. I'm gonna show the picture here. Bam, that's the picture right there.
Yeah.
I thought you was here.
Maybe I was in St. Louis. So maybe
I thought you were at the party though.
I feel like I might have been at that party.
I think you on the video. I'm gonna send you the video, recap video. Okay. I think you were
go back to the photo album. Go back.
No, y'all ain't getting up in my business. My photo album on Facebook.
Oh my God.
But so he kept on demanding for stuff, man. And I'm just trying to appease and I'm just getting mad. And now, shout out to Fred Finley of First Fridays. He had decided he gonna put a bid in on Amerie while her dude arguing with me because they weren't married at the time. He was just her manager, maybe boyfriend or whatever. They kind of kept it like it was kind of like, oh, they wasn't together, but you can obviously tell that they was together. So Fred is putting a bid in on Amerie while me and him going back and forth arguing for the next 10, 15 minutes. And it wasn't like argument. He was just bugging me for shit. Just like, hey, we need this, we need this, we need this.
But here's the thing: it's never the VIP. It's never the person that is who this is about. It's never them. It's always the people surrounding them.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it is that they direct them so it doesn't seem like they're hard to work with or a chaotic person. But it's always
that is it. I'm sure that's it.
But I guarantee you some of that stuff Amerie wasn't asking for. But I've experienced from the standpoint of like being not involved, like around a lot of people just like that, and more so in particular like men, particularly men. It be their homeboys doing the most, and it don't be them. And you be like, wait, are you asking? Just ask for if it's you, because it don't make it seem like out of pocket if it would be you. But from you, it seems like it's somebody else.
The party. So you can say that link and see if I swear you on there though. Like now I got a feeling you on here for real, on that video for real.
I'm gonna mute it.
Yeah.
Wait, it won't mute. It won't mute. Okay,
no, it won't come through your speakers through the show.
Okay.
Hold on, we on pause, y'all. I'm gonna let Don watch this real quick. Hold on. All right, we just reviewed some of the former videos. Go ahead,
Don. Dude, back down memory lane ain't even. It said that was from 15 years ago. That means that I literally it started to all come back. I remember the sky something, and I'm gonna tell you something. I feel like I know I was likely working. Probably got to Lumen late or something because, like I said, like the Amerie thing, speaking over that balcony, it's all coming back now once I saw the venue.
Mm-hmm.
And so, knowing my ass, I was probably tussling with my then boyfriend.
and got there late.
Yeah, got there late or something after work because I worked at Baker's, but man,
yeah,
crazy memory. Crazy memory. But continue. Okay, so y'all performed. You get there. He was running around. You had a homeboy trying to shoot a shot at Amerie.
Yeah, man. Fred Finley that runs First Fridays. That's who it was. So, and it was just all kind of like crazy going on that night, man. So shout out to Amerie. Seriously, man. Like, still love her music, dude. I was just working with people in entertainment business in general. I don't hold nothing against that brother. It was funny. You know what I'm saying? That looking back, the fact that he was cool with me picking him up in the Volvo just to handle this business, I got to give him a shout out for that. You know,
them niggas got back to the room and was like, he picked us up in a Volvo. At least it's a safe car.
Right.
Volvos be like they're safe vehicles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My Volvo was straight too, man. It was doing all right. Sounds of Blackness was doing all right, man.
Dude, that is wild. Like, I never told you that I had Amerie riding the passenger seat of my Volvo.
Yeah,
no.
hey, look, low key, I wonder if they tell the story about that. People like this one of these niggas that was a promoter came pick us up.
You know, we should send. Let's try to get her on.
Yeah,
and then see, like, so does this face look familiar to you? No, all right, bet. So this is the story.
Hey man, I had them in the Volvo, yo. The Volvo.
Man, that's crazy.
Had them in the Volvo, no lie.
That's crazy. That's a dope story, though.
Yeah. I mean, we both had these random incidents with people, man. You know, if they come along, we ain't gonna force them. We don't let them come along when it's not forced. Because if we force them, then it won't be fun no more.
Yeah, always. Like I was thinking about some of like the interactions that I've had with like certain people. How you can, be like cool with certain people, and it just don't be pressed, guys. Don't be pressed. That's the keys. Just like you might be screaming on the inside, but how I was talking to Beyonce, how I talk to Darryl. Like, but on the inside, I was like, oh my God, it's Beyonce. So. Yeah, man.
It's crazy to see like this. Even looking back at this Memorial Day video, like these parties, man. Like, yo, we was putting 800-900 people, 1,000 people in spots, man. You know,
and we was in there.
Yeah,
and then the thing, it all started. I started attending y'all events because Adrian invited me out, and I was like, yeah, cool.
What's crazy is, man, like low key. I was out of work for a year and some change and was able to keep my bills going because of parties.
Oh wow.
And I couldn't find a job like right when the recession hit in 2008. I was out of work from 2008. I literally was laid off November, like December 2008. I didn't get another gig until January 2010.
Dang. But also it was like you could put more effort into it. Like you was
and we were doing Thursday nights. We had parties every other Saturday. We had every Thursday. It was a lot, and I could put more into it. And I was promoting my ass off, and I was really going hard on the digital side before Cass was doing that as much, at least locally. I won't say nationally because it was like Cass, I was watching what they was doing nationally on the digital side. But man,
the I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
It was just a time, man. Like it can never be like that again. Just because it's just too many people holding their phones up. You know, if you look at the video, anybody holding their phones up.
I want to have a party where no phones are locked up. Like you can put them, you can keep them on, you can keep them in a pouch,
or you can only use phones in this area. Like like a smoking lounge, like a phone area. Like
because so like the concept of Soho House. I've been to
Soho House in Chicago.
Yeah, and so a lot of people don't, but you're not supposed to have a phone there. Like at the warehouse, they be running them up, but West Hollywood, they get crazy. We got restaurants out here where it's no phone. The Nice Guy, it's no phone. We sneak. Nice Guy, Delilah. It's like so many restaurants out here that no phones just because they're so they're supposed to be so exclusive, and then it also they are guaranteeing like their VIP guests a certain level of discretion, so that needs to be a thing. We should figure out how to do that, because I'd come back and for that, because that'll be a lot of fun. And it's just like old time, like you got the photo guy, we taking it back to 09, 08. This is what we doing. It is, no cell phone.
You know what? Low key, you could just pay for the photo dude, and you ain't paying for your pictures. We just gonna pay the photo dude $500, $600, $700 for the night, and he's gonna take all these pictures and upload them. Here's the card where all the pictures at.
Yep.
The only thing is, though, I guess that anonymity be out, because anybody can get that link and see all the pictures.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, if you paid him for the night,
and it's like, hey, this link's got all the pictures.
But you also kind of want that experience to kind of go viral, where everybody's talking about it. In St. Louis, this is what they did, and maybe, and it'll be people that are gonna bite the idea, but it's like that concept of really being in the moment, dancing, talking to people. We don't need to know what happened. Did it happen?
Yep. And you don't need to, if you wasn't there, you just don't know. You can see the pictures. You can get the link for the pictures like everybody.
Yeah, it'll be posted on Instagram. We'll put it on Facebook or whatever. But yeah,
that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Shout out to Roy and Adrian. I know y'all listening. Let's get on it. Let's get on it. One thing that we do need to go back to.
We love you.
PnB Rock, man. This is what we found out recently. What this is pretty sad. And we need to give apology to his young lady, his ex. But here we go.
Back, everyone. It's been 2 years since the murder of rap star PnB Rock in broad daylight. He was from Germantown, you may recall. He was shot and killed while eating lunch at a restaurant in Los Angeles. And now there's new exclusive video coming out that sheds light on what really happened that day. The news magazine True Crime News is devoting a special edition tonight to the never-before-seen videos. The host of the True Crime News, Anna Garcia, joins us live here right now at CBS News Philadelphia. So, Anna, tell us about this video, this surveillance video.
So it's got two components to it. One is the actual shooting, the murder. And what that video very clearly shows is that PnB Rock, Rakim Allen, never stood a chance, because the shooter came in, put the gun up, asked for the jewels, and within seconds he was already shot. So the opportunity to hand over the $500,000 in jewelry wasn't even there. And PnB Rock was carrying a gun. He had it in the back of his waistband, but didn't even have enough time. The man is shot, and then the shooter, you can see him grabbing the jewelry off of him, also points the gun to the girlfriend who's having lunch with him, takes some of her jewelry, but she is not shot.
Now let's talk about the girlfriend, because at first, wasn't there kind of like an implication that maybe she was involved in some way on this?
The implication was she had posted a picture from Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles where this happened.
So the location, she's saying where we are.
Where we are, and she posts a picture of the food, the chicken and the waffles, not of them, not that she's with him. Okay. And then the shooting happens. But what we didn't know now that we do, what we didn't know then that we know now is that that photo had nothing to do with the murder of PnB Rock. The setup had started the minute he walked into the restaurant. He's wearing $500,000 in jewelry. There's someone there who spots him, does a fist bump. We see this on the video. He contacts someone else, a father and son team. Okay. And the food was delayed by almost 40 minutes. But it was just slow that day in the restaurant. So keep that in mind. She didn't get to post that video, that photo, till much later. And it was those two that were responsible for the death of PnB. And it was, the whole setup was just to steal all his jewelry.
Wow. Well, you've been following crime stories for years. I mean, this was your beat as a general assignment reporter. I mean, the show's now 2 months on the air.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of response are you getting from folks?
Wonderful. We're here in Philadelphia talking about this incredible case. We need to set the record straight. She blamed herself. The girlfriend blamed herself for this murder, that it was all her fault. It wasn't her fault. We need to make sure that everyone knows that, because social media and other celebrities jumped all over her, blaming her. So it's important to have that discussion, to tell the entire story of a crime.
As opposed to news nuggets.
Yes.
This is what I always tell people. You don't know the full story until you know the full story.
Exactly. And today we can tell you the full story. It's the entire half-hour episode on tonight here on your station.
This is a great focus. And I mean, I know the folks here in Philadelphia, because of the connection with Germantown, people are going to be very interested.
They should be. I think it will be very revealing about what happened. He never stood a chance. And then the agony that she goes through in the interrogation room, she couldn't go to the hospital with him.
Wow.
When you see her fear and her agony as you know, the world is just blaming her for something, and she starts blaming herself, and it wasn't her fault.
Well, we look forward to watching this. Thanks so much for joining us. And again,
all right, Dom.
LA is such a cold place. The world is cold. LA be even colder.
Yo, they lied,
I never blamed her, because it's literally like, you know, we saw that also happen with, what's that one dude that's from New York that posted, but like they said, it's so much there.
You talking about Pop Smoke?
Yeah, Pop Smoke. You know, like that location thing, like we know that is a thing, but that's not always the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cass might have been looking at Pop Smoke earlier in the day.
And that's the thing too, is like a lot of times. So for example, like when you hear certain people's houses getting broken at certain people and they be out of town, people are looking at your schedule. And so if they know you away and you on a tour, your house is an easy target to go to or whatever. So that it's like one of those things. Don't leave nothing valuable. And it sucks. Like you can't leave nothing valuable in your house, but that's just put that shit in the bank vault. You know, like have them lock it away for you.
Or having it in your crib that's like that you can't just roll out the crib.
Yeah, where it would be, they would have to tear the house up looking
right, exactly. Where it's like, dude, you're gonna have to bring a crane up in here to get this safe up out of here.
Yeah, and so it's really, really sad, and I hope that gives his girlfriend a level of comfort and peace, and you know, and I know she likely is dealing with a lot of PTSD even 2 years after this event occurred.
I need all them people that was giving her hell though.
That's what I was gonna say. Y'all need to apologize to her, because sometimes it just don't be that. It's like, yes, I get what you're saying, but sometimes people just follow people and do stuff like that, and people
they delayed his food 40 minutes extra.
And listen, Roscoe's be busy, but ain't that busy, especially considering how they cook a lot of that shit be sitting under a light, because I have sent my food back several times. So
and on top of that, why would you have a celebrity in there, you know, quote unquote celebrity, you want to take care of them?
Yeah,
I'm
right
getting their food out fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want them to take a picture for the gram. All PnB Rock at Roscoe.
He didn't stand a chance. She was like, they didn't even
let him take his jewels off, even give it up.
Like I didn't even get a chance, and it was just like, you just wanted me out of here.
I wonder if they're going to charge. They got to be charging the person that Roscoe's employee, right?
They got to. You're an accessory.
Yeah, you the one that lined them up. You make it a murder charge too, because if it's not for you calling, this person does not end up dead.
Yeah. You were accessory to a crime. You might have thought that he was just gonna get robbed, but sorry, bub, your homeboy killed him.
Like, that's sad, man. And you can see her when they're like talking to her, and she's just like, I can't. Do you think about? Did they shoot him in the chest?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking about, like, you're sitting there having lunch with somebody run up on your guy, or even if it's a random person you from your job that you go to lunch with, if somebody ran up on them and was like, break yourself, and then before they can do something, they shot right in front of you. Blood's probably splattering all the place. And then you have watched somebody expire in front of you in 30 seconds. Then, like you said, to come back home to have people being like, man, I think she set him up. She didn't put this on the gram. She didn't maybe and then it wasn't a setup, or it was like, oh, she shouldn't have been posting. That's what I told y'all about posting y'all location. That was her fault. And they come to find out
it wasn't even that.
Wasn't even that. That's when sometimes y'all internet detectives be on. We need to get some vouching for y'all internet detectives too. Y'all need to have like a Yelp too for y'all internet detectives. Like, we need to have ratings for y'all. Like y'all cats be like, oh, I know I didn't investigate it. Let me see your last 3 cases. Your last 3 internet cases. What is
That's
those?
Real. Just sad, man. I hope she again finds some level of comfort and peace, knowing that her Snapchat or Insta story did not kill that man.
All right, I'm gonna let you choose here, Dom. I know what you're gonna choose, but I just want to make sure because we only gonna do 2 more topics.
2 more. The basketball game is on, which is why I wanted to come on at 5. They got some like playing. I think it's like some playing. Okay.
Do you want to do the Young Thug out of jail or DJ Envy's daughter?
Let's talk about DJ Envy's daughter.
We can end it there. All right.
Okay.
All right. Explain what's going on with this to everybody, Dom.
Okay. So DJ Envy is on the Breakfast Club out in New York. He is a personality, radio personality, notoriously known for being very open and honest about cheating on his wife, Gia. Well, guys, again, we're 2 weeks removed from Halloween. We didn't record last week, but they posted a video of their daughter, who is 8 years old, recreating Lil Kim's Crush on You video. She is does like the green look, the blue look, the red look. The red look is probably the most controversial look outside of her mouthing the lyrics to Crush on You, as she is in like it's like ripped, like slits in this swimsuit, bathing suit or whatever. But she is, anybody knows everybody knows that an 8-year-old should not be rapping Lil Kim anything. Especially in this day and age. I think things were a little different in the 90s. Like now, look, I was Lil Kim for Halloween in like the 4th or 5th grade. Did my mama know who Lil Kim was? No. But I also wore a tank top and some biker shorts and a blonde wig. So I was very age appropriate, and I, being removed from the situation, I had no business being Lil Kim. But I love Lil Kim because Lil Kim looked like me. It's a black girl that is famous. That's not what we always would see. And I thought she was so pretty. I was like, oh my God, Lil Kim is so pretty. But yes, did I know the words to All About the Benjamins? Yes. But I was also not 8. I was a couple of years removed, older than her. But my parents were also not cheering that type of behavior on. I told you, when my mom found out we went to that concert that our dad got us ticket, she cussed him out, and we were on punishment about that. We got in trouble.
Damn.
So it is very inappropriate, especially since we just talked about sex trafficking and things like that. And we know how people sexualize, little girls, little boys, child pornography is a huge thing in this country. It shouldn't, but it is. And I'm just like, what happened to little kids being Aladdin?
I'm sharing some of the pictures here for people.
I can't believe you even sharing that. It's inappropriate.
Yeah, you're right. Let me get this.
And so she's like, keep this, like, think about what Lil Kim is saying in Crush on You. It's like, hey, yo, shorty, once you go get a bag of that lead through, I'll be undressed in the bra, all see through. While you count your jewels, thinking I'ma cheat you. The
Now, you
only
know what?
one thing I want to do is freak you.
Honestly, it'd be cuter that she redid Ladies' Night or something with her friends.
That could have been fun. But I just think it was a little over the top. And then if something would have happened, or if some man would have said something to Envy or Gia, now you want to fight.
I agree. Yep.
And it's like, no, like the two can't coexist just because this is not the world that we live in. And we don't allow, especially when you black, we only are allowed a certain space, a certain amount of time to be kids any fucking way.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's like, you know, we turn 8 or 9 or 10, and then like life just shifts for us because like the reality sets in on like how people are going to be judgmental of us and different things. And we talk about this, allowing our children to be kids because life is hard enough as it is. Like, girl, you did what's a popular kid show that's out right now? You didn't want to be that?
Bluey or something.
Bluey, Moana, whomever else, the Princess and the Frog, whatever. So y'all got tab time, and y'all out here dressing y'all kids as things that they don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it could be.
And I get it, like y'all are immersed in like hip hop culture and all that stuff, but it's just like, it's just too much. It's just too much.
No. I agree with you. I'm just surprised.
Can you imagine Xander coming to you saying she wants to be Lil Kim or Foxy Brown at her age?
She wouldn't know to do that. They had to
exactly. So that was them. You did that. You gonna tell me you playing Crush on You and you playing what album is that on what's the album? Because I can see the album cover, but Crush on You, because Crush on You even on the album ain't even Lil Kim. It's just Junior Mafia. It's just Lil C.
No, it's just C's.
And then you get the remix. So then you not, no, I don't believe that. I'm not believing that for 1 minute. That your kid said Lil Kim, even at my young ass, had no business.
I mean, that now since you saying that, now I'm thinking about it. Xander don't even know who Lil Kim is at all. I don't think.
Exactly. And like I said, I only came across Lil Kim. We didn't have cable.
But now I will say they may be sending another circle of people where Lil Kim may be coming through a crib or something. Or
well, they FaceTime Lil Kim.
Yeah, but she might know her personally though.
But also, knowing somebody personally, I know these kids are advanced, but I'm just not sold. Again, MTV doesn't exist how it used to exist when we was growing up. So that's why I'm just having a hard time believing that she wanted to be Lil Kim, because the era has changed.
Yeah. I mean, you
said, Xander don't know Lil Kim. I only know and I knew Lil Kim like, again, my cousins being at a relative house or something, and somebody playing something, and my cousins was way older than me.
And Xander's 11, and she still don't even. What was the person you was asking about earlier? She was and she was talking about she looking for them for stickers, like
look. I knew Spice Girls through and through at Xander age.
But I don't even, low key, I don't even know if Xander know who Glorilla is, and like Meg is even.
And she shouldn't, just because of her age.
Yeah, I don't even think she might know that some beats from the songs because they played so frequently, like the beats and stuff. But like especially like the one that's popular now from Glorilla. But in general, no.
Yeah.
But I let her stay a kid though, you know. And I'm not sure what they're doing when they're home though. So I only judge this moment for them. But it's not cool. I would say that, like dressed as Lil Kim, like,
and
not Lil Kim as a whole, y'all. Just that video.
Just that video, and then you mouthing the lyrics,
and not even. No, you know what? Not even that video. The outfit she was wearing from the video. She's wearing like the little blue. Like which one is she? One of them is like a full regular outfit.
Like the yellow is a full outfit.
Right. Okay. Something like that.
Everything. I'm gonna say this. Pretty much the outfits as a whole, if I can remember properly, because even the green was like kind of like a sheer top, and she had something under it, and it was a button up. But every look actually wasn't really bad. Like I don't remember Lil Kim being in that red scene in something like that. Like, you know what I mean? It was just too much.
Yeah, and it's understandable. It's understandable.
Yeah, she's fully dressed in these outfits. So why would you? Because like I said, if you was gonna do it like Kid Fury said on the read, there are so many ways that you could have had her be Lil Kim without being overtly sexual or saying those overly sexual lyrics. There's so many ways. And then to go through it, and I was like, no, I don't remember Lil Kim looking like the outfits was cool. And I'm like, wait a second. She's fully clothed. Fully clothed. So it was like the yellow scene. She got on a crop yellow t-shirt with some black shorts. The red scene, she did have on a bikini. But then there's another shot of it where it looks like it is she might have put a halter top on.
Mm-hmm.
In another scene, in the blue scene, she got a scoop neck, the long sleeve shirt on, and the pants are furry. Dude, y'all just be doing too much and not enough at the same fucking time. But I'm not even shocked just based on their relationship. It's none of my business. But don't be mad. This girl got missing teeth, Daryl. She don't got teeth.
She's still young.
I'm done.
I'm done. Hey, where can people hit you up at, Dom?
Y'all can continue to subscribe to my YouTube. I filmed a little bit of content while I was home. Not a lot, but enough where I'm gonna post it and whatnot. So yeah, follow my YouTube. I'll be forgetting about TikTok, y'all. I'm trying to do better. And Instagram. Yeah, y'all know.
All right. Make sure y'all keep checking us out, and we appreciate y'all as always. Peace.